You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is BRFM 95.6. I'm Daniel, and you are listening to the Monday Night Community Show. It's great to have you along with us. Thank you very much for joining us. And now it's time to the interview I did with Catherine Herbert. And Catherine came along on behalf of a consortium consisting of a range of grassroots organisations and people based in Medway and Swale. And they have won Creative People and Places funding from the Arts Council England. And what is really exciting about this is that they were the only successful application to win here in the southeast of England. And the first thing I asked Catherine is how did it all come about?
Well, Arts Council developed this brilliant funding stream which is called Creative People and Places, which is about really getting great art to places that might have the least opportunity to access it. So it's local grassroots organisations and local people coming together to make creative things happen. It's really experimental and it's about testing things. So it's a completely new way of working. It's really exciting. So, you know, as you said, we're the only successful application in the whole of the southeast of England. So if it goes to plan, there will be over £1.4 million in Medway and Swale for the arts that wasn't there before. So the team who put this together are really, really proud of it.
Now, we spoke about you being here on behalf of the consortium. Who is in the consortium, Catherine?
Well, it's a group of people who are based in Medway and Swale who have come together to make the application to the fund. They represent a range of grassroots organisations. So just to run through them, there's Swale CVS and Medway CVS, who they're the councils for voluntary services, and they support huge numbers of voluntary organisations and volunteers. There's Artlands North Kent, there's Creek Creative Studios in Faversham, LV21 in Gillingham, Francis Knight, who you probably know, who manage Laysdown Rose Tinted, Fellow Creative and Kent Architecture Centre. So this is the consortium, and they are kind of managing the process, and they've given their time really, really generously to support this project. So we're, so excited to be working with them. And they're actually going to act more as contact points across Medway and Swale for local people when this is all up and running. And it's also really heavily supported by Swale Borough Council and Kent County Council, which is how I got involved, and Medway Council. And in getting the application together, we worked really closely with an organisation called People United, who are based in Canterbury, and they sort of look at things like kindness, and they were very helpful in shaping and helping us to think in a very particular way.
We are at the moment talking to Catherine Herbert. She's here on behalf of the consortium who won the funding for Creative People and Places from the Arts Council. So we are at the moment here at BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show, joined with Catherine Herbert, and she's talking to us on behalf of the consortium here in Swale and Medway that won the funding for Creative People and Places from the Arts Council. We're talking to her all about that at the moment. Catherine, what was the inspiration for the project?
Well, the group has been looking at projects that genuinely have local involvement and that help local people to shape what happens. And we thought that the Theatre Royal Stratford East's Open Stage project was really, really amazing. It's the first time that a major theatre has given the public ultimate control of the stage. So basically they let the public decide what to put on at the theatre for an entire season. And it's still running, and they have hugely increased the number of people going to the theatre there, and it's just a really nice, simple idea. And it sort of reflects the way things are going across culture. You know, the idea of having maybe a public vote is a great way of people getting involved with something, and you just have to look at the X factor to know that it works and that people are desperate to have a say. They just want to get involved in local decision making, so why shouldn't people say what they want to happen locally? So that's the kind of ethos for it, really. And I mean, there are lots of examples of projects that have done this very well, and another one is there was a project in Herne Bay in 2009 and 10, I think, which was created by People United, and it's called We All Do Good Things Town. And they just had brilliant artists who were working in bingo halls and beach huts and town centre businesses and schools, and they were kind of all over the place. And the project really brought people closer together by using the arts to share and celebrate the good things that people do. So, you know, a range of community-led initiatives sprung up from the programme, including this the Giant Picnic, which is coordinated by Herne Bay and Bloom. So, you know, it's really good, and a lot of these projects have been an inspiration to us.
So what are you going to do, Catherine? What is the project?
Well, the entire project is about input from the public. It's about the public, so we don't exactly know what the projects will look like yet, but that's kind of the whole point. It's a very new and exciting way of working, but on a really basic level, there'll be more choice for local people in terms of arts activities, and there'll be ways in which it can be shaped by the people that are accessing it. We've got 6 months as a kind of development period to work up a full plan, and we're going to take that time to really talk to people in Swale and Medway to get a dialogue going about what people want and, take actual time to listen. There are some events planned to get people involved and talking, and one of the themes of the project is that rather than ploughing full steam into a single project, we're going to run lots of small kind of creative experiments which will test what might work and build upon what we learn. And this is great because it gives a chance for lots of people to get involved. We really want local people to have the chance to explore some of their own creative ideas. There are loads of creative things already happening in Swale and Medway, and we want to build on them and strengthen it to help people to do more and get people more involved and really have a say about what could happen here.
We are at the moment talking to Catherine Herbert, and she's here on behalf of the consortium from Swale and Medway that won the funding for creative people and places from the Arts Council. So we are talking to Catherine at this exciting time. She's here on behalf of the consortium here in Swale and Medway who won the funding from creative people and places from the Arts Council. Now, Catherine, how can people stay in touch and also go on to find out more about what's happening?
Well, we want to hear from anyone and everyone that might want to get involved. We've got a very simple web page with a sign-up sheet so that you can find out a bit more about the project and also sign up. So you need to go to www.creativepeopleplace.info. So that's www.creativepeopleplace.info.
Now, before you go, Catherine, I just wondered if you could refresh our listeners with a basic sort of overall on what it's all about.
Well, a group of individuals have come together and achieved funding from Arts Council's Creative People and Places scheme. So we got £1.4 million, hopefully. In the next 6 months, we want to connect with local people and test out some ideas, get some more great art into the area.
Well, Catherine, thank you very much for speaking to me. I'm really glad to be able to talk to you at this exciting time, and I'm really glad you were able to tell us here at BRFM all about it.
Thank you, Daniel.